接下来我们要邀请我们最后一个讲师，也是压轴的，他也是我们2012年的站长群之一 Chris。那他本身呢也是他本身是富格创意技术总监与共同创办人啊，也是有很丰富的那个 Drupal 开发经验，尤其是特别是专精在版型开发跟架构规划的部分，啊也是就是在我们担任站长权的过程中，他也是那种贡献度是非常非常高的成员。对，就是在活动规划上啊，或者是一些就是对外的一些演讲，以及就是接待一些国际的讲者的部分，也是付出了很多的心力。好，那这部分呢，好，那这边的话，我们就热烈掌声 Chris 接下来的演讲。
Hi everyone, I'm Chris. 大家好，我是 Chris。皆さん、私はゴーです。Okay, today I'm going to talk about how can you do for Drupal, because I'm going to 2 DrupalCon this year. Okay, 所以我今年去了2个 DrupalCon，那我现在讲一下从这边经验，大家可以为 Drupal 做什么。今日は Oh, that's enough. I can't do more. I can't do more. All right. Before I start, I just realized there is some people who using listen and type service here today, and if I talk about entire presentation in English, it's more maybe hard for the people to type in. So I share a slide here, but you don't need to share this one. Okay, there is a little bit English and Chinese mixed note for me. So if you want to look at it, you can look at it. But don't worry about it. I will share the entire slide later. Okay, I'm working at Fliegen. So it's a Drupal shop, provide a lot of Drupal-based service, consultant, and also training. So we are currently partner with Symbio and Aguia, and we work for, we build a website for Allergan, who is a medical company in America, Logitech, and also a fashion web called Bikini.com, and also a dry box 收藏家 in Taiwan, which is really, which are all famous websites. So once upon a time, I'm not a Drupaler. I was a designer actually, a product designer. So I do thinking, drawing, and modeling. However, I was also interested in web design as well. And I also have a lot of experience in Unix server operation. Sounds like very odd, right? But believe it or not, I didn't realize I would become a Drupaler today. So how did I become this? I don't know if this is bad or good. Do you think it's bad or good? Okay, never mind. So that's how I started. In 2008, I started to try to build a website with PHP. So mainly I write the PHP code with Notepad++, and sometimes for the time being, I also use Dreamweaver. Okay, so at that time, Dreamweaver also provides some component to help the developer to write some PHP. And then in the same year, I built, in this website, I try to build my own template system because I don't want to replace the menu, the header, title, the footer all the time. So I try to use PHP to build my own template system. And then for purpose to register, I built a small CMS website also with PHP with my own code to do online web registration system. When I built my own studio, I found I couldn't do that anymore. I need to find some tool to help me to provide the website service to my clients. So I found WordPress, movable type, and finally I stayed in Drupal 6 at that time. So these three websites, one of them, this one, for architecture department, that one is for Drupal 7, my first Drupal 7, and the other two are in Drupal 6. So for a long time, I tried a lot and started building my team, and now I'm really proud to say I have a very good team who can build this website with me for fashion website. This one, this is my first time to join the Drupal meetup at Taipei. So it's also my first sharing on DrupalTaiwan.org. Okay, it was really, really hard for me to join the meeting because I was in Tainan. It's in southern Taiwan. It needs like 3 hours. No, that time we don't have the high-speed train yet. So I have to take maybe 5 hours to go to Taipei to attend this meeting. And that's the first meetup I sharing about my experience. And then from 2013, no 12 to 14, I started organizing the Drupal Camp Taipei since then. So we might attract more than 500 people to know about Drupal and learn from it. But is it enough? I don't think so. Because we taught people how to use Drupal more than how to make Drupal great. So I try to attend to different conferences, including WebConf. I introduced Drupal 8 with Twig at the early stage of Drupal 8 in 2013. And I also talk about responsive web design and modern web through 2015 to 16. I talk about how to do the responsive web design with Drupal Power Insight, and how do I utilize Drupal as a content service for internet commerce. James and I, we also just finished a workshop this year at COSCUP, which is the biggest open source conference in Taiwan. But I'm still not really satisfied about what I did. So I try to do more. So this year, I attend to 2 conferences this year. So the first one, my first ever DrupalCon Asia in India, Mumbai. So I got this t-shirt. Okay, it's pretty cool design. And Dublin, it was just ended September. It's really recent conference. In India, I attended all the sessions, immersing in every topics to learn what the other Drupalers share and how do they communicate with the other peoples. I found most session, for most of the presentation, they are quite short. Okay, they have like 40 or 45 minutes for the session, but they only took 50% to 60% to talk. So instead the QA session is spend more time to communicate with people. This leads me to think, is the conference actually the sessions are lectures or seminars. So do you think do you like more like a lecture or a seminar? No answer? I have some souvenirs here. So the first three people who, if you interact with me or answer my question, I only have three of the second volume for the Captain Drupal. So you can have two of them, okay? So you like lecture or seminar? Okay, let's wait for later. Okay, but in Taiwan, huh?
I already have a comic book.
You already have, yeah, of course. I have a lot. I have a lot. So be prepared your questions. Okay. So most conference in Taiwan, the speaker usually takes 85% time to do presentation. They usually have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or they took over the entire time for the presentation. But in DrupalCon, the speaker usually take only less than 6% times to do the talk. Okay. Because the speaker may not always be the idea of seminar is to exchange experience. Because the speaker may not always has the best practice to the topic. They might have some searching and try to do some experience. They attend to the conference to interact with all the attendees. The attendees may also welcome to give thoughts to speakers. So I think this is really important idea in the international conference. So at the second conference is in Dublin. So I got another T-shirt here. This one. It's a pretty cool one. Huh? The best thing in DrupalCon, you can get a lot of T-shirts. I believe John has more than me. In this DrupalCon, I got 5 T-shirts. 5 T-shirts. Okay, this one is the maybe official one. Okay. So I was really eager to go to DrupalCon Europe, and this year is in Dublin. It's quite fascinating in Ireland. Okay, so in the venue, developers are everywhere in the convention center, not only in the hall, but also on the sofa, and Wundercraft also put a lot of back seats on the floor, so you can see developers sit everywhere. In the session, when people start to discuss, there's only one standing mic in the hall. You can see that. Okay. Whoever wants to ask questions or discuss or share opinions, they have to approach to the mic one by one, which is very good to for the questions queue and also for recording, because they do recording. They do record every session. So there was one session talk about an initiative session about create a new Drupal user-facing core theme. So every time you install Drupal, you got a new site, the first user-facing theme. But they are talking about, do we need to change that? So people stand up to talk, to discuss in the room. So I remember 5 people waiting for share their opinion. So actually that is not a real talk. It's more about discuss, more about seminar, more about how to make Drupal better. The session was even longer than the usual topic sessions. This one is also a special one. This is Drupal.org panel. The Drupal.org engineer team, they come to talk about the new Drupal doc front page. You see the new front page, right? And they are also talk about how is the infrastructure updated. There are also a few new attendees. They was also attended to the panel session. There was a Drupaler, and she talked about how frustrated when she first registered to Drupal.org, because her account was she needs to make certain activities on Drupal.org to be a confirmed user. If you register right now, you will always have a hint to say you are a new one, you are not a confirmed one, because they are trying to keep the spammer away. So the team also answered with a little secret about their effort. How do they try to identify the spammer? And this is also still in secret, and they are not releasing on Drupal Association website. And the most valuable topic here is there will be a multilingual version user guide for Drupal 8. So we could contribute some translation to make a Drupal 8 user guide in traditional Chinese on Drupal.org. It's a chance for us to do. Okay, and it's open source for every people to contribute. So someday we will see that if you can help me, or we do this together. So when it comes to the language, I have to mention an important friend who is community keynote this year in Europe. His name is Enzo. Enzo, he lives in Costa Rica. He started his world tour to visit all the Drupaler around the world. He took more than 140 days to go over the world. He also went to Taiwan this April. He ran for the Drupal Association Director at large. He tries to emphasize the language barrier among Drupal community. He wants to help people with their mother tongue other than English may increase the participation in Drupal. So these are countries he go over, and he record his every step, how many miles he fly, how many steps he walk. He travel around for 140 days and keep spreading his words. Maybe you don't know Enzo. So everyone, does anyone knows Enzo before? Okay, but have you heard about Drupal Council? A little more, okay. He is the major developer for Drupal Council. Okay, and this April he came to Taiwan, and we talked about how to use Drupal Council for Drupal 8 development. Drupal Council also inherits his idea of helping people to develop with Drupal easily, in all the way from module building, boilerplate, site configuration, and provide several languages for its CLI interface, including traditional Chinese. So you can use Drupal Council with Chinese, no problem. But I'm trying to contribute more to have more complete Chinese version. So there are lots of people working around the clock to make Drupal better. How does the new Drupaler get involved? Okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to the DrupalCon again. This is the first sprint I attend in DrupalCon Asia. There are different kinds of Drupal sprint. The first one is first time sprinter workshop, and also mentor sprint, and also general sprint. I went to the mentor one. Okay, and in the mentor sprint, the room also divided into 3 blocks, depending on your experience. You can join a different group from novice issues and module for module issues, migrate issues, or some major or triage issues for Drupal core. And in Dublin, there are more sprints than in India. So sprints every day. The session, the DrupalCon Dublin took 5 days, but there are 2 more extended sprints before and after the DrupalCon. So if you arrive earlier or you left later, you can keep sprint. So I don't know if there is somebody do the sprint all the time. Maybe John does. Okay, so on Drupal.org, you can find this row task of your Drupal Ninja path. If you want to learn how to contribute the code, you can follow the path and practice from explorer to community contributor to documenter and issue mover, and finally you can be a mentor or developer for Drupal. This is the live commit by Angie, or you maybe know webchick on Drupal.org. At the sprint day, Angie will invite the issue reporter, patch provider, commenter, and also whoever helps to solve the issue. So they will, let me see. Can I just play that? Okay, let me try to play the video again. So the video is took right after Angie hit the enter button after the git push. So people applaud for the new commit to Drupal core and to endorse these 3 people who helped this issue resolved. Is a Drupal, is an event really geek or not? So maybe not. It's not so boring because there is a trivia night. This is the trivia night in DrupalCon Dublin. So let's try to answer a little bit trivia questions here in Taiwan. Okay, I got it for you. So you have to answer this like a, I can remember 5, maybe 5 questions. So first one, who is the user one for Drupal.org? Who? Dries, yes.
Thank you.
Who has the most commits in Drupal.org? Try. In the trivia night, they are not allowed to using your mobile phone to check the answer. But you are allowed right now. Try or guess who has the most commits. What? No, not webchick. 几个我要试这个。Maybe you will have an answer later. Who is the current president of Drupal Association? Still no answer? Then you should know this one. Whose birthday is the default expired head of Drupal site, every Drupal site? Yes, it's Dries. Okay, last one. Who owns the trademark of Drupal? Yes, Dries. Yeah, it's Dries. So you must know the other 2 answers. It's always Dries. It's the last one we do in the trivia night. And after like 5 questions, we know it's Audrey, so we start to fill the sheet, always Audrey's name, without finish all the questions. Okay, so is the geek event really geek? Yes, it is. Okay, so what can we do to contribute? So we can do some development, we can translate, we can share, and also help the others. So we can contribute the code while we solve some issue. And when you work on Drupal, you might find some issue. So this one is in Zen. It's a really tiny issue. And if you find some issue and you have a solution, you can do some patch. And you can discuss about the issue and try to fix it. So you can, sometimes you even create a new module for your website. You can also contribute it to Drupal.org. So sometimes the issues stay for a long time for discuss for RTBC, which is reviewed and tested by community, and then to be committed. So this is a recently issue I try to resolve. The issues are not always about coding, not always about PHP, but sometimes it's about user experience and user interface. So this one is a UI issue in Drupal 8 core. If you're using workbench moderation, you might find this a UI glitch. So I might have my first Drupal core commit soon because this issue is already in RTBC. Okay, so I'm not sure how long should I waiting for. All right, the last one maybe I think is pretty easy one without coding skill. You can do translate. You might see this website when Drupal 8 is released. Okay, a lot of people here, we done the translation work before Drupal 8 releasing. So lots of Chinese interface is also translated with the localized.drupal.org. And I would like to thank a lot of people here. I couldn't mention everyone, but Drupal Taiwan does a lot of the translation for people using Drupal. So you may find your interface, your module, if there is some Chinese translation, you have to thanks to this community. So Drupal, I mentioned just Drupal will soon have a user guide in multilingual. And of course, I said it's already open source. We can try to contribute a little bit to have the Chinese traditional version. So everyone, if you want to do this, please contact me and we could try to apply a Chinese traditional team on Drupal.org. And if you like Drupal.org, you can also help to do the translation for Drupal console. And last, to share and help. It's also require no technical skills. Okay. In Drupal Taiwan community, we also share our funds from the past event. So whoever want to help organize any meetup, any small event, we did this at 2013. So you can have some subsidies for any kind of Drupal Taiwan meetup. So you don't have to be the chair member, you don't have to be the leader. You can hold your own Drupal meetup and have some subsidies. If you do contribute, and you will have commits record on your Drupal.org profile page, you can see here. I don't have too much, but I try to increase that, okay? And if you are individual or organization member, you are also helping the Drupal, so you will have a badge on your profile page as well. If you want to do any kind of above contribution, but have no idea how to do it, there are always Drupal guru can help you. Okay, Joshua, you are Drupal guru. Charles, Jimmy, anyone, whoever you have seen before in the Drupal camp or any meetup, they are very good Drupal developer. So just contact them and don't be hesitant to ask people around. And these are pretty much I want to talk today. So I hope you can feel encouraged to make Drupal better. Okay, one more thing. There's a very good news I heard today from Satoshi Kino. So this website just released. The only good news is the website is still in Drupal. Okay, so maybe Drupal won't be prohibited in the White House. That's a very good news I heard since this guy is the president-elect. Okay, thank you.